that case.
How many people that you saved have you saved?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 dumbest uses of CGI in movies.
Now pay attention.
Ah, green! Wow. I know, right?
For this list, we'll be looking at the most ridiculous and unnecessary uses of special effects we've ever seen on the big screen. Which of these scenes do you think is the silliest? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Michael's Mask. Halloween H2O. 20 years later.
Michael.
When CGI attempts to replicate the look of real human faces, it can fall short and look a bit shoddy. This was really apparent in 1998's Halloween H2O, 20 years later, when CGI was still experiencing growing pains.
Oh, Miss Tate, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make you jump.
It's okay.
Well, hey, it's Halloween. I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare.
I've had my share.
Although the Halloween franchise started with a practical mask in 1978, everything changed in 1998 upon the advent of special effects. There's a scene in Halloween H2O when Michael is rocking a CGI mask that looks absolutely horrific.
Hi.
The worst part is not how it looks, but how unnecessary it was to include it for only one scene. A Michael Myers mask from the local costume shop would have looked 100% better than this. Buying one would have been significantly easier and presumably cheaper than utilizing CGI. Number 9. Breath. The Social Network.
Mark? Yeah. You said you'd come up with something.
Yeah, I think I've come up with something. Come outside.
It's 20 degrees outside.
I can't stare at that loop of Niagara Falls, which has absolutely nothing to do with the Caribbean.
There's one scene in David Fincher's The Social Network that sees Mark and Eduardo standing outside in the freezing cold while discussing ideas for Facebook. It's a good scene with great dialogue that's ruined by CGI breath clouds.
We'll split it 70-30. 70 for me, 30 for you for putting up $1,000 and for handling everything on the business end, your CFO.
Fincher has stated that to ask people to stand out in this kind of cold weather and not see the breath was unfair. While it's noble of him to try to go for accuracy, the breath is still wildly unnecessary. Audiences understand that it's freezing, and Eduardo is jumping around and commenting on how cold he is.
I'm not talking about a dating site. I'm talking about taking the entire social experience of college and putting it online.
I can't feel my legs.
I know. I'm totally psyched about this too.
We don't think anyone would have complained about the lack of visible breath. In fact, it's likely that no one would have even noticed.
We don't even know what it is yet. We don't know what it is. We don't know what it can be. We don't know what it will be. We know that it is cool. That is a priceless asset I'm not giving up.
So when will it be finished?
It won't be finished. That's the point, the way fashion's never finished.
Number 8. The Rat. Daredevil.
I mean, I hate to bring it up again, but I spent $3,000 on that Seeing Eye dog.
I didn't ask you for the dog. I didn't want a
Can I tell
dog.
you something else? Seeing Eye dogs bond for life. Yours ran away. What does that tell you about how emotionally available you are?
The 2003 Daredevil film is not loved by many, and its questionable filmmaking is evident in the very first seconds. One of the first things audiences see is a shoddy digital rat scamper around the wet streets before it's scared away by a burst of steam. Couldn't they have just opened the movie in another way to save both money and the film's reputation? They could have filmed a live rat and just cut out the steam part. Or they could have just started with the slow pan up the stairs instead of bothering with a rodent at all.
What's eating you?
Rough night.
Wait, you want to talk about it?
No.
Something could have been done to prevent audiences from watching such an insignificant piece of digital imagery in a superhero movie. Number 7. Green Lantern's Mask. Green Lantern. CGI masks didn't get any better between 1998 and 2011. In Green Lantern, Blake Lively's Carol Ferris asks,
What the hell is with that mask?
if that was meant to be a brilliant bit of meta-comedy, then well done, because that's exactly what audiences were thinking while looking at this atrocity. The movie was widely lambasted for its poor visual effects, and that includes Green Lantern's digital mask.
Hal,
Yeah.
can you take off the mask? That's really cool.
It's overly digitized and completely unnatural when it appears on Hal's face.
Not bad, huh?
While Reynolds initially defended the use of otherworldly CGI, he later joins the rest of the world and ridiculed the terrible special effects himself.
And please don't make the super suit green. Or animated.
Number 6. Wolverine's Claws. X-Men Origins. Wolverine. Standing as one of the worst films in the entire X-Men canon, this origin story received significant criticism for its script and poor visual effects.
There's something I always wanted to tell you. You're predictable.
Perhaps the movie's most infamous scene shows Wolverine trying out his new adamantium claws in a bathroom mirror. The effect looks like something out of an amateur B-movie rather than one that cost $115 million.
You're right in there.
Yeah, I'm fine.
The filmmakers reportedly utilized prosthetic claws while shooting. However, they replaced them in post-production with CGI.
That's a nice stick.
Even the first movie's claws look marginally better, and that was released almost 10 years prior. It's obviously hard to convey steel claws in a realistic manner, but surely something could have been done to prevent this disaster.
2 years I rotting in that hell and I never... Ooh, shiny.
Number 5. The Pair. Star Wars Episode II. Attack of the Clones. The Star Wars prequels are infamous for their over-reliance on CGI.
Abby! It's so smiling to see you, sir.
Good to see you again, Jar Jar.
Senator Padme. Miss Apollo's here. Looky, Senator.
Both the green screens and horrid effects made the original 70s and 80s films look more modern than the prequels. Perhaps the worst offender is the infamous pair scene from Attack of the Clones.
Aggressive negotiations, what's that?
Well, negotiations with a lightsaber.
The pair looks mind-bogglingly bad and gets worse whenever it interacts with the live actors. We don't believe for a second that either Hayden Christensen or Natalie Portman are interacting with fruit.
If Master Obi-Wan caught me doing this, he'd be very grumpy.
The team could have used a real pair on a string, or even just cut out the goofy sequence altogether.
If you follow your thoughts through to conclusion, it'll take us to a place we cannot go, regardless of the way we feel about each other.
Then you do feel something.
Was it really necessary for them to use a CGI pair while sitting down to eat? Number 4. CGI dog poop. John Wick.
And now that I have found my peace, find yours. Until that day, your best friend, Helen.
It's a weird day indeed when you show up to work and learn that you'll be animating a pile of curling dog poop. But a team fulfilled that strange request for the modern classic John Wick. While the movie is an impeccably made bit of action cinema, it contains a wholly unnecessary shot of a dog's recently deposited, deposit.
Oh, right.
This wasn't needed for the story or character, so why even include it? According to the DVD commentary, the filmmakers couldn't just wait around for a dog to do its business, so they resorted to CGI.
I'm up.
Since the single shot reportedly cost the studio $5,000 in animation and labor, it's one of the most expensive poops in human history.
We'll grab you some kibble later.
Number 3. Digital Shave. Justice League.
I believe in truth. But I'm also a big fan of justice.
The story of Henry Cavill's mustache is now ingrained in film history. He originally grew a thick mustache for his role in Mission Impossible Fallout. During filming, Warner Bros. Needed him to play the clean-shaven Superman for Justice League reshoots, but he couldn't get rid of the facial hair.
You won't let me live. You won't let me die. The world needs you. It doesn't need you.
After a failed compromise between the two movie productions, Warner Bros. Had to digitally remove Cavill's mustache in post-production. The result was a bizarre, uncanny valley concoction that made Cavill appear like a just not right video game character.
Does your thing really stand for hope?
Yes, it does.
But it looks like an S.
Yes, it's meant to. It's meant to wind like a river. It comes and goes.
While they did what they could under regrettable circumstances, there's no denying that the end result looks ridiculous. Number 2. A Human Baby. The Twilight Saga, Breaking Dawn Part 2.
Welcome to the family. You look amazing, Bella.
Someone's been waiting to meet you.
If digitally creating a fake face proves difficult, we can only imagine how hard it would be to create an entire human being. Unfortunately, that is exactly what the visual effects artists of Twilight were tasked with when it came to making Renesmee.
She's fine. She's back home and she's feeling better.
Why didn't you say so? It's great.
Wait. There's something you need to see first.
While we feel bad for laughing, she was probably one of the worst bits of CGI ever created. The baby looks absurd, and it completely takes viewers out of an otherwise emotional moment.
Renesmee. She's got your eyes, Bella.
Bill Condon even admitted to The Hollywood Reporter that the baby came out a disaster. They reportedly chose between using bad special effects or a creepy animatronic doll. But that only raises another question. Couldn't they have just tried filming with a real baby?
All right, that's enough experimenting for one day.
Jacob, she's doing great.
Yeah, let's not push it though.
What's your problem?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Fursuits. Cats.
Yep, okay, nice and good. Everybody ready? And 5, 6, 7, and just before noon's not a moment to say.
From its first trailer, Cats ran the risk of being a cinematic travesty. The movie is based on a musical that has been running since 1981. Since that time, everyone has been content with the beautiful Tony Award-winning costumes. But the production team of Cats decided to go with CGI instead of practical effects. This resulted in horrific human-cat hybrids that haunted our nightmares.
I like to lie in the bureau drawer, but I make such a fuss if I can't get out.
Do you think he just got neutered? Because those notes are like, oh.
The genuinely terrible CGI, complete with numerous glitches and imperfections, forced Universal to release an updated version to theaters.
To understand our character, you've learned enough to take the view that cats are very much like you.
All the special effects updates and horrified reactions could have been avoided if the Cats production team made more practical costume choices.
Now for the icing on the cake.
Why did you want another Jellicle light?
I can't keep being in this kitchen. Don't get cocky.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.